Arise, Queens. This is the All Queens Army, where women are provided with the tools you need to overcome your fears, face your flaws, and experience breakthroughs as you develop self-esteem so strong you emanate royalty. Now, for your host and commander of the All Queens Army, Breizy Time.
Welcome to the All Queens Army podcast. This is your girl, your host, Breizy Time. I am here today with another dope episode for my queens. Yes, queens, as always, I'm so excited to be here talking to all of you. So I hope that you truly have been enjoying season 2, okay? I hope you queens have been enjoying season 2. It has been very fun recording season 2, and I hope that you feel that I'm being a lot more raw and a lot more honest, right? And really digging in and motivating the shit out of you, because that's what I'm going to do today, because you guys know what today is, right? It is #Motivation Monday. So you know that means that today's episode comes from the Motivate Her segment, where it is just me and you, queen. And I am going to talk about something that'll hopefully motivate the shit out of you. Okay. So I'm definitely going to jump into what today's topic is going to be about. Before I do that, I do, of course, want to say to anyone listening, if you're new around here, if you're a new queen in the queendom, or if you just haven't, you've been around for a while and you just have not followed us on Instagram or Facebook, please do so. We are on Instagram at All Queens Army. We are on Facebook at All Queens Army. And also, if you can please do me a favor and subscribe to the podcast. We are on pretty much all of the platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, and or you can go to www.allqueensarmy.com and absolutely subscribe to the podcast so that you are notified when a new episode drops. Okay, so now that we've taken care of that, queens, I want to get into what today's topic is about so that we can talk about happiness. Okay, that's what today's topic is about. It's about happiness. So today I'm going to be talking about happy people are happy for other people's happiness. Okay, doesn't that sound like a little bit of a little bit of play on words? Like happy people are happy for other people's happiness. But it's the truth, right? I actually experienced a conversation with someone. I'm going to tell you, queens, that story. You know, I always tell you a good, juicy story. So there was a conversation that I had with someone recently, and it really sparked the need and the want for me to talk about this topic, because I just felt like this young lady was just not happy for another one of our sisters, and she was happy and then blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I'll get into all of that. So again, today's topic is happy people are happy for other people's happiness. So if you claim to be happy about certain things in your life, if you claim that you're unbothered, if you claim that you're happy for other people, if you claim that you don't really care about what other people do and all of that good stuff, right? Because I hear people say stuff like that all the time. Oh, I don't care about what other people do. I mind my business. I mind the business that pays me. Oh, I'm unbothered. I just don't care. Blah, blah, blah. I hear it a lot. Especially surrounding relationships where people are just claiming to just not care, not give a damn, not give a fuck, all of that kind of stuff, okay? I hear it all the time. However, sometimes I struggle to truly believe that the people who are saying that they're super duper happy or the people who are saying that they're totally unbothered really genuinely feel that way, okay? I have witnessed that people have criticized or talked about or gossiped about people who are living in their moment of happiness or living in their moment of success. I have witnessed other people put them down. I have witnessed other people talking crap about them. I have witnessed other people talking about like their past and bringing up negative shit that they've either done or still doing or perceptions or rumors. I've seen all of that. And I'm pretty sure, queens, that you've heard stories like that or that you've witnessed other people doing it. Or maybe, I hope this isn't true, but maybe some of you queens are actually doing that. Okay, so let's be clear. I do not judge anyone. Okay, so I want to remind all of the queens. You queens know that I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm going to be 100% raw. And I'm not just talking to you queens. I'm also talking to myself, because we're all a work in progress. We're all evolving as women. I say this every episode. So if this hits you in a space where, maybe I could be one of these people who are doing something like this in my life, please don't shut out the All Queens Army. Okay, we're not here to judge anyone, to make anyone look bad, look crazy. This is a place of vulnerability and growth. Okay, that's what this is all about. Because I'm going to tell you, Queens, right now, I am not completely innocent of doing some of the things that I'm talking about, right? But me acknowledging it and you queens acknowledging it and sometimes taking a look at yourself to see what areas you have in your life that you need to work on. That's how we get better. That's how we get stronger. That's how we grow. That's how we get the things in our lives that we want. That's how we manifest the good, positive, wonderful things that we're hoping for, is by being honest with who we are and where we are. Okay. So I wanted to say that because if you find yourself being one of the people that I'm talking about, that's okay. Okay. That's okay. Don't get defensive. I've been there too. And sometimes I probably still revert back to it. All right. So here's what I want to say about happy people are happy for other people's happiness. Here's what I want to say about that, okay? Because again, what I'm addressing is that there are lots of people who say that they're happy. There's lots of people who say they're unbothered. There's lots of people who say they don't care about certain things, but yet they have so much negativity surrounding other people's situations, other people's problem, or other people's happiness, right? I didn't mean to say problem. Other people's happiness, other people's relationship, other people's decisions, okay? So I want to tell you guys why it's a problem and what it's really doing in your life. If you're too focused on someone else, like if you are taking time out of your day to gossip about someone else's happiness, or to gossip about someone else's relationship, or to gossip about someone else's success or situation, if you're taking the time out of your day to gossip, if you're taking the time out of your day to criticize, if you just genuinely don't feel happy for another person when they're in their moment of happiness or success, let me explain to you what poison that's pouring into your life. Okay, so the first thing about criticizing. So if you're criticizing someone else who's in their own happy space, right? You don't have to necessarily agree with what a person is doing. You don't have to necessarily like the person that they're with. You don't have to love the job that they're doing. You don't have to believe in the business that they started. You don't have to think that the success that they are achieving or that they are experiencing is really built on their own back. Like whatever you think about whatever someone else is doing that's making them happy, or they're appearing to be happy, or they're saying that they're happy, whatever you think about that, if it's a negative thought, if it's some negative words, if it's some negative emotion, what I'm telling you right now, Queens, is that you're going to end up blocking your own blessings. Now, let me explain why that happens, okay? Because remember, what you feel, what you believe, what you say, how you perceive life is actually what you're going to manifest into your life. So if you see someone else who let's just say someone else just got into a relationship and they're posting about their happiness, or they're talking about how happy they are. If you look at that situation and the first thing you say is, oh my gosh, I know that dude, he messed with everybody. Honey, let me tell you something. You are on a path to blocking your own blessings, okay? Because you can't be happy for someone else who's happy means that you're lacking the ability to accept and receive happiness in your own life in that particular area of your life, okay? So if you're doing that, criticizing, critiquing, judging, all you're really doing is putting a block up in that area of your life to guarantee that what you will continue to manifest in your life is exactly what you're saying about someone else. Okay, so literally what you're saying about someone else, the negativity that you spew, the gossip that you talk, the rumors that you listen to and that you engage in, all of that shit, I'm telling you, you will manifest that into your life. Now, if you could find a way to be happy for someone, again, even if you don't agree, you don't have to necessarily agree with what the person is doing. You don't have to agree with their lifestyle choices. You don't have to agree with the man that they chose. You can still feel happy for that person because they're happy. All right. But if you choose to kind of stew in negativity in regards to that person's happiness, then all you're going to do is bring that level of unhappiness, of yuckiness, of gook into your own life. Okay, so remember, do not block your blessings by allowing yourself to feel, talk, think negative about what someone else is doing, especially if they're doing it and or they're saying that they're happy about it. Okay. If they feel like they're reaching a certain level of success, be happy for them, celebrate with them. If they're happy about a job offer, be happy, celebrate with them. If they're happy about the new man or new woman in their life, despite whatever you think or know or think you know, because there's a whole nother subject, but despite whatever you know or think you know about the person that they're choosing to be with, so what? Be happy for them. Be happy, okay? You don't have to criticize or critique what someone else is doing, okay? Again, there's a lot of people who say they don't care, they're unbothered, they mind their business, they stay in their lane. But really, a lot of people just saying that, but it's not happening a whole bunch because I see something totally different. So I want to get into this story, Queens. It's actually about a relationship. So it's about a young lady who I know and I talk to pretty frequently. And another young lady who I also know and I talk to pretty frequently. And I would say we are, I guess you can say mutual friends, the three of us. Now, I'm going to say Lady A and Lady B. Okay, Lady A is beautiful as fuck, y'all. Oh my, I think she is the most gorgeous woman. She is super successful. She has a kind heart. She's a very good person. We're going to call her Lady A, and Lady A is single. But she has so much going for her. And again, ain't nothing wrong with being single, honey. Single is, you listen, you can look at single like this is where it's at because it allows you to find yourself, be happy with yourself, and to grow into who you really are. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with being single. I think being single is a great place for evolution and growth and learning. Okay. So she's happily single. Okay. Well, at least she says she's happily single. So I celebrate her being happily single with her. All right. Now let's talk about Lady B. Now, Lady B has been in a relationship for, I think, maybe about 7 or 8 years with the same guy. She is over the moon with happiness and excitement because she recently got engaged. So the man in her life finally popped the question and she could not be happier. She is literally, y'all, beyond happy on cloud nine. And let me tell you something. I grinned and smiled from ear to ear when I got the text message of the ring on her finger because, I mean, hey, listen, I could feel her happiness. I could feel her love energy coming through the goddamn phone. So immediately, my first instinct is, oh shit, I am so happy for her. This is really, really exciting. Now, a little bit about Lady B. Lady B was single for a really long time. She has 2 children, but she is super successful. I mean, super duper successful. She is super duper duper successful, y'all. And I mean, she's a woman of God. She is very active in her church. She does a lot for her community. She is a phenomenal woman. All right. So Lady A contacts me to ask me some questions about Lady B and Lady B's fiance. And the questions were very, very like accusatory and judgmental. The questions were around the topic of Lady B's fiance being an alcoholic. And what was my opinion about Lady B accepting the proposal from the fiance? And did I think he was a good guy? And did I think he really loved her? And what the hell took him so long to propose? And is this real? And is their relationship really going to last? And because Lady A was saying how much she loves Lady B, she was saying that all of these thoughts and these feelings and all of her questions were coming from a place of love where she was trying to protect Lady B. When she loves Lady B and she doesn't want this man to F her over or treat her badly or take advantage of her success or take advantage of her position in the community and all of these different things. So she was bringing it to me, asking me my opinion, but also in the asking of my opinion, she was insinuating her opinion, right? And her opinion is he's an alcoholic. He drinks way too much. He's still involved with his exes. You know, he's kind of a hoe. He's an opportunist, blah, blah, blah. So in that conversation, the very first thing I thought was, you know what, whether this man is an alcoholic or not, whether this man still is involved with his exes or whatever you think is going on with that man, that is between Lady B and her man. Okay. And as far as I know, all I know is what I see between the two of them when I am physically around. And I also know what Lady B shares with me about her fiance. And what she shares with me is not all perfect. She's honest and shares some of the frustrations that she goes through in the relationship and some of the challenges that they have to overcome. But listen, that's normal. That's how relationships are. No relationship is perfect. You have to work through the problems. There's always that part of the relationship that you have to work towards. And that's kind of what marriage is about. It's the commitment to work through any frustrations, problems, issues that come about. Okay. Now, everybody has their own things that they say, hey, this is something that I won't deal with. And that's cool. Each person has their own level and limitation, and that's fine. But she didn't feel like, and I'm talking about Lady B, she didn't feel like that her fiance had hit any of those areas where she felt like this isn't something they can work through. She felt like all of the things that they experienced that they could work through. So how? If she feels like they can work through it, and if she's happy, then God damn it, I'm happy for her. Then God damn it, I want to see y'all walk down the aisle. Then I'm grinning while she's grinning, and I'm crying happy tears when she's crying happy tears. Because here's the thing. I love Lady B too. That's my sugar wooger. And all I want is for my sisters, my queens, my love bugs, my love muffins. And I mean this to all of you queens that are listening too. All I want is for you queens to be happy. And only you queens can decide and determine what it is that makes you happy. Because what I think, or what Lady A thought, or what anybody else thinks about what makes someone happy, that's their happiness, okay? That doesn't have anything to do with Lady B. What makes Lady B happy is completely determined by her needs, wants, and desires. Period. So what someone else thinks she should want or she should deserve may not be the same thing that she wants or deserves or demands from anything in her life. Okay. So my very first thought was just that, you know what? Who gives a shit about whatever is going on with this man as far as I'm concerned? That's for Lady B to deal with. It's not for me to deal with. It's not for me to judge. It's not for me to criticize. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm good with him if she's good with him. And that's the response that I gave to Lady A. Hey, she's happy. She seems to know some of his baggage and some of his issues, and she's okay with it. And she feels like they can work through it. So as far as I'm concerned, if she's good with it, I'm good with it. She's happy, then goddamn it, I'm happy. And that was my response. Well, Lady A was so frustrated with me that I did not agree with her, that I did not see this from her perspective, that if I really loved Lady B and I knew all of these issues that this man had, that I would be concerned, and that the two of us should go to Lady B and we should sit her down and really talk to her about this decision. Child, listen, I'm not here for it. I am not here for it. So I had to start questioning Lady A. And my first question was, Lady A, why are you so invested in Lady B's life, in her relationship, in her fiance, and who he is, and his drama or his baggage or lack thereof? Because, right, he could have none. Why do you care so much? Why is this the first reaction that you have to her wonderful news that she is happy, that she finally got the ring, and that this is exactly what she wanted? Why are you picking apart what's happening in her life? What's really going on? And what I really look at when people do stuff like that is I really start to question that person who's being critical and who's being judgmental. So I really started looking at Lady A and asking questions like, are you really happy? Like, are you really genuinely happy in your life, with your relationship status, with yourself? Because listen, y'all, if y'all know Lady A is the most confident, thick, beautiful, successful woman you could meet, honey. Listen, baby, Lady A slays my life, okay? She puts it down, puts it on, gets her face beat, honey. I mean, she is all that in a bag of chips. So she comes off as very confident. She comes off that she's very happy, very secure in her life. She's dating around. She's not really committed, but, you know, she's doing her thing. She is doing her thug dizzle, okay? So because that's the perception that I have of Lady A, and that's what she always claims, that she's happy, I was very shocked that I started to feel like I was getting a different vibe from her, because really happy people don't criticize and pick apart and critique other people. They just don't. They don't look at other people's situations, whether they be good or bad, and pick them apart and find everything that they can complain about or every problem. That's usually not the energy of a genuinely happy person. So I started to question, hey, are you really happy? Are you good? What's really going on with you? Because it says more about you, Lady A, that you are critiquing and judging Lady B's situation. And on top of that, kind of dragging Lady B's fiance through the mud. Like, why are you doing that? Okay. So in that conversation, I mean, we talked for hours, queens, hours upon hours upon hours, because I was so curious as to why she was behaving this way. So when we finally get down to kind of like the core, after we peeled the layers of the onion back and we got to the core of why she really felt that way, the truth was that Lady A was somewhat jealous of the fact that Lady B was happy and engaged and moving on. That there was a part of Lady A who really did want to get engaged and get married and have that white picket fence and all of that good stuff. So let's be clear. Lady A is totally fine, right? Totally fine with who she is and where she is. But deep down inside, she does have that longing to be with someone, to be in a committed relationship, to be married, to be in love, and to all of that. Like, she has that deep down desire, but it's not something that she celebrates or talks about often, because she feels like talking about it and celebrating it is only going to disappoint her when she keeps dating people and it keeps turning into not the one. Okay. I hope I explained that the right way. And I know I used to feel that way before I got married. I used to feel like that, like, oh, I don't want to get too excited. I don't want to get too hopeful. I don't want to talk about me wanting a relationship or wanting love so much, because then I'll feel disappointed if it doesn't happen, right? So that's where she was coming from. So Lady A, listen, she's not a bad person, not a bad bone in her body. Let's be clear. It was just that there was something going on deep down inside with her that she wasn't acknowledging. And the way that it was manifesting was in judgment of someone else who's experiencing exactly what she's saying that she wants. Okay. So what I explained to Lady A was, hey, honey, you have to make sure that you're honest with yourself about how you truly feel, so that you're not creating a negative response or negative emotions when other people are getting in life what you want. You have to really dig into yourself and really, really be honest about what you want. Okay, so that's what we talked about. She totally understood. We had such a wonderful, loving conversation. She was totally, totally apologetic for how she came off. Neither one of us, of course, had to address it with Lady B, because Lady B didn't even know we had this conversation. But I felt so good about the fact that Lady A, my sister, I love her so much. And I'm not saying my real blood sister, y'all. I'm saying like my sister, us as queens, us as women. I was so happy that she had that little breakthrough, and that she was no longer going to allow herself to feel those negative feelings and emotions when other people around her were experiencing their winning season. Okay. So at the end of the conversation, even though she's still not a fan of Lady B's fiance, she could still find herself and find a way to be happy for Lady B, because she loves Lady B, and Lady B is a good friend of hers, and all she wants is for Lady B to be happy. All right. So it was a wonderful, wonderful conversation. It was a conversation that isn't always easy amongst queens, because some of us get a little defensive or some of us aren't honest with ourselves. So that was why, and it was that situation that inspired me to record this particular episode about happy people are happy for other people's happiness, right? Because I identified that right away. My whole thought process was, well, why are you so mad about this? Okay. So if you find yourself feeling any negative emotions or feelings, or gossiping, or talking about people behind their back, or rolling your eyes, right? Just rolling your eyes to yourself when people say things, when people are celebrating things, when good things are happening to someone else. If you find yourself with any of those reactions or emotions, queens, I'm telling you, please be careful with that. Please pay attention to your own emotions and your own feelings and your own energy surrounding other people's successes and their happiness, because you don't want to block your own happiness. You don't want to block what God has coming to you because you have a sour attitude about it. Okay. Now, I don't know why people have sour attitudes. I can only speak from the perspective of Lady A and what we really figured out was going on with her beneath the surface, right? But everybody has their own reason. So as always, I want to give you, queens, 3 things that you can do, or 3 things that you can think about that can help you overcome some of those yucky emotions. Okay. And as always, I'm very transparent, very vulnerable. There was a period in my life where I too was just like Lady A, and I would see other people celebrating their happiness and being super duper in love. And I would like turn my nose up and be like, oh my God, they are disgusting. Or, girl, he don't even love her. Or, girl, he was in somebody else's inbox. I was that girl. I used to do that, right? Or I would see someone excited about they just hit a certain threshold in their business with income, or they just got this super big promotion. And I would roll my eyes up and be like, oh, he probably did this or that to get this promotion, or she probably did this or that to get this promotion, or she don't know this job that well. Throwing so much hate, honey, throwing so much negativity. And I too had to check myself and focus on me and really figure out, well, why am I reacting that way? Or why are my emotions kind of welling up like negative emotions? So most of the time I wouldn't say anything, but just because I didn't say what I was thinking or feeling, it doesn't mean that those emotions weren't real for me or those reactions weren't real for me. Okay. So I want to give you, queens, 3 things that you can do if you find yourself in this situation, or let's just say, queens, you know someone who does this and you love this queen and you want her to work on herself and not block her blessings. Please share this episode with her. Okay. So 3 things that you can do. The first thing I've already said is check yourself. Okay. If someone's happiness, or at least them displaying or sharing that they're happy about something, if something like that is triggering a negative emotion or response in you, it's a red flag that there's something going on in that particular area of your life. There's some sort of emotional block that you're experiencing in that area of your life. And you really have to focus on that and get to the root cause, because the other person's success or happiness or whatever it is that they're excited about, or that they're celebrating, or they're bigging themselves up for, that's not the issue. Okay. The other person is never the issue. There's something going on with you. There's something that's triggering you within you. And you've really got to do the work to figure out what it is. Okay. Now, how do you do that? I get that question all the time. People say, well, Bree, you say you need to do this or you need to do that, but how do you do it? Right. And that's a hard thing, because I think it's different for everyone. But for me, the way that I get to the root of my emotions or the root cause of how I feel about something is I start writing. Like, I just literally just start writing and writing and writing and allowing whatever is on my mind to just come out on the pen, or on the pad rather, through the pen on the pad. And I just write, and I don't think. I just write and I write and I write. And eventually when I go back and I read what I wrote, I've expressed exactly how I feel. And now I understand what I'm feeling. Okay. So that's how I do it. I mean, everybody handles figuring themselves out in a different way. Some people meditate. Some people just get in a quiet space. Me, I write. Okay. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, you can see someone else's happiness or success as proof that yours is coming. Okay. So this is actually what I did when I was going through my own yucky phase of kind of turning my nose up at other people's happiness, especially in the relationship realm, honey, because I told y'all this story 1,000 times. I was in a yucky, miserable space, okay? And I couldn't genuinely be happy for other people in relationships and getting married, because I just wasn't in that right mindset. I wasn't in that headspace. I felt like, God damn, I've been doing everything to try to get married or settle down, and nothing was working for me. Like, everything I tried to do and all of the things that I tried to work on with myself weren't working. So I had a little bit of a bitterness there. And one of the ways that I overcame my bitterness was I started looking at other people in relationships and them being happy, and other like married couples and their happiness. And it was like a game. Every time I saw one, I would smile and say, okay, God, that's like proof that mine is coming. And the more I saw it, the more I started feeling like, oh my gosh, it's getting closer. It was like a game that I was playing with myself to try to trick my mind into feeling happy for other people and feeling happy emotions when I saw other people happy. So that's why I gave that to you guys, is one of the things that you can do is change your perspective and start to look at other people's happiness and or other people's success as proof that yours is coming. Okay. It's like almost like look at it like the universe is letting you know, hey, I heard you. It's coming. It's really close. Hold on for a little while longer. All right. And then the third thing is always try to think about the positive versus the negative. So I'll use Lady A and Lady B's situation as an example. So what Lady A could have done, instead of hearing about Lady B's great news that she was engaged, what Lady A could have done let's say this, if Lady A's natural thought process went straight to, oh, her fiance is an alcoholic and he's using her and he's an opportunist, instead of choosing to focus on those characteristics of Lady B's fiance, you could choose to look at the positive characteristics of Lady B's fiance. Because I'm sure if you thought about it, you could pick out something that you thought positive about Lady B's fiance. For example, you could look at Lady B's fiance and say, well, one thing's for sure is he's committed to her for the past 7 to 8 years. He's literally been with her for the past 7 or 8 years. So I guess that's a good thing. I guess it's a good thing that he actually went out and invested in a ring. It's a good thing that he took the time to propose and ask her dad if it was okay. It's a good thing that they've already set a wedding date. You know, like you could choose to look at the positives in the situation and not focus on the negatives in the situation. Because remember, queens, whatever it is that you focus on, whatever emotions that you allow to well up within you, whatever you think and whatever you believe, whether it be positive or negative, that's what you're going to manifest. Okay, that's what you're going to call into your life, whether you're thinking about it for yourself or someone else. So if you're thinking about someone else's failure, or you hope that someone else breaks up, or you can't wait until someone else gets their day of karma, really all you're doing is drinking the poison that you're pouring out. Okay, because you don't have the power to poison someone else's life. You don't have the power to call negativity into someone else's life. Only they can do that. All right. So here's the thing. You have to focus on yourself. You have to focus on how you think, how you perceive things, what you choose to see. You have to focus on what you want and how you feel about the things that you don't yet have. Okay, because if you think negative about those things, I'm telling you, you'll never get them. It's a block. All right. So with that being said, queens, I hope that you got something out of today's episode. If this does not ring true for you, meaning you're not one of the people who sometimes can throw a little shade or be a little hateful or a little judgmental on other people when they're experiencing success or something positive in their lives, if that's not you, baby, I'm sure you know someone who it is. Okay, so feel free to share this episode with said person. You don't have to tell them why you're sending it to them. They'll get the point. Okay, so queens, again, I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Happy #Motivation Monday. I hope you queens have an amazing, amazing day. As always, please be sure to leave me a review for this episode. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if you liked it. And last but not least, if you want to reach out to me, you can always email me at breezy@allqueensarmy.com. That is BREIZY@allqueensarmy.com. I love you, queens, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the All Queens Army podcast. If you want to connect with Breizy Time and the All Queens Army, be sure to follow them on IG and Facebook at All Queens Army. Or head over and check out the All Queens Army YouTube channel. Until next time.